Hi everybody, Martyn at Flicking Feathers again today. I'm tying a hot collar lightweight buzzer. It's a great pattern. Anytime you're fishing high in the water, whether it's the washing line or if you're just straight lining but you want the flies to stay up, certainly in the first foot or so of the water column, these wee lightweight buzzers are great choices, especially in the still waters when the fish are targeting the emergers. As always, I will put a materials list in the description, along with a link to the Patreon page for anybody who wants to support the channel, get access to the members only content and be entered into the giveaways. I'll also get you access to the monthly online Zoom tying sessions that we're doing. Otherwise, just subscribe, hit the bell button, that's all, appreciate it. So, got my hook and my vise. It's a size 14 Kamasan B170. I would say tie these from a 10 to a 14 is probably your most useful sizes. Start at some black Uni 80 and I've just sort of stopped it at the end of the thorax, and I'm going to come in and tie in 4 strands of Globrite number 16, which is the fluorescent white. I'll just pull that back a bit. And I'm going to cut the butts so they're about the length of the thorax. I've left them a wee bit long so I can pull them out the way later when I'm whip finishing. For my rib, I'm going to get some clear wrap. And I'm going to stretch it slightly just to narrow it, and then catch it in. And I'll just tie it back. Come to the barb and then just slightly beyond, right? Just sort of onto the start of the curve. Start of the bend. I'm going to grab pheasant tail fibres dyed black, maybe half a dozen. Just holding them by the butt. I'm just going to catch them, keep my thread tight and just draw in as close to the tips as I can go. And then I'll tidy up on the way forward. I'm going to put a tiny amount of super glue on the shank there just to protect the pheasant tail, make it the fly last a bit longer. And I'm going to wind it forward. I'm going to let it open up. Right, you want it flat, you don't want a tight rope or anything, keep it spread to give you that nice skinny body. When I get to the front, I'll just come across the pheasant tail and keep your thread tight, put a turn on the hook, and then you can let go. Turn over the pheasant tail, turn on the hook, turn over the pheasant tail, turn on the hook. And that's well tied in, right? But at the point, you need to keep the thread tight all the time when you're doing that. Trim away the waste. Now for my rib, I'm going to take it up in quite close turns. I just want a small amount of the pheasant tail sort of poking through, getting a wee bit of fuzz. And when I get to the front, we'll just catch it off. And you can see there you've got the black body, but the clear wrap gives it just a nice wee shine. You can see the light catching it, I think, on the camera. And it's a good representation of the sort of gas that builds up inside the buzzers as they're pupating and rising to the surface. The collar's just some marabou tips. Right, it's the sort of stuff up the top of the feather that you might not really use for streamers and that. And I'm going to grab a few fibres. Just catch it in. Pull it back to get a sort of thickness that I like. Then I'm going to tie back just to the start of the abdomen there. Trim away my waist. again, a wee bit of super glue. Tiny amount. It will just make your fly last that much longer. And I'm just going to take these and put a small band of orange. Put the thorax there. Catch it off. Now that's a wee bit wider than the collar's going to be. Right, I always like to make this slightly wider because when I put the dubbing on, I want it to come back slightly so that it looks like it's like running into itself. I don't want any wee gaps or anything, or a dip between them. I can dub slightly back onto that and it just becomes one seamless area. So my dubbing mix here is about a 50-50 blend of very dark sooty olive silver and black peacock spectra flash dubbing. Gives you a nice wee bit of flash, and it's fairly close to the colour of actual peacock as well. Now I've got a very small amount of dubbing here. I'm going to start at the front, and I'm just going to come back to the collar, and then I'm going to just take my thread forward through that. I'll lift, that's why I didn't cut that short, I'll lift this up, we'll take a couple of turns of thread, and then I can come in whip finish, just grab my varnish, put it on the thread there, and the loop. Draw that in, and that seals the knot as you seat it. Trim away your waste, got a wee scrap of wire here. Clear out that eye. That's fine. And then it's just a case of coming in and trimming this. Length's up to you. I just sort of like to put the blade of the scissor against the eye and trim. Just get that wee short white tuft. So there you go. A hot collar, lightweight buzzer. See the way the light catches that dubbing, catches the rib. It's a great fly to have in your box. So I hope that was useful. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up below and subscribe to the channel. Right, lines guys, bye.